Good afternoon, everyone. Today is a special date. It's 2/2/2020, February the 2nd, 2020. Thanks to two visionary, Johannes Heine and Michael Tellinger, we are here today. Back in 2003, by accident, this site has been discovered. Then later on, it's been realized that actually much wider area is making a huge complex. However, from 2005, 6, 7, and so on, thanks to Michael Tellinger, this place has become very prominent worldwide. Now it is known under the name Adam's Calendar, and even our favorite non-scientific site, Wikipedia, has it under that name. Adam's Calendar is a megalithic site. I've been researching pyramid and megalithic sites for more than 3 decades now. It seems that the ancients were aware that if you find the proper energy point, place with the strong energies, and then if you make certain geometrical shapes, then they can amplify the energies. However, the ancient builders were much more smart than that. They would not build megalithic site for one purpose only. It was always several major functions, energy being one of them. When you amplify the energy, then you can use it for very practical purposes. One of them being the communication. Another one, forming such energy fields that are beneficial for humans, or in wider terms, for all beings. So self-healing being one of the properties. And then next, since you are amplifying the natural energy sources, then this energy can improve the energy of water. So instead of what we drink today, energetically dead water, then you would have water that vibrate much higher. The next thing, of course, food and agriculture. We are what we eat. We are what we drink. We are what we think. And then we, humans, we are not only physical beings. We are also mental, energy, spiritual beings. When it comes to spiritual aspect, we have 5 physical and 30 spiritual senses, which we don't use today. We could all see more, hear more, feel more. We could communicate instead of the way we are doing right now with the words or with the writings, with the best possible way. And that would be telepathy. You exchange the thoughts. The next thing, we could move the objects with the power of our mind. And that would be telekinesis. And finally, we even have ability to move through space and time. 2 things necessary: techniques, which we can develop, and the second one, energy field strong enough. You know how very often people are saying that places like Stonehenge were very powerful, especially during some special days. What is day number 1 in the year for all traditions around the planet? That was the first day of summer, summer solstice, which in most cases is June 21st. Rarely June 20th, rarely June 22nd. June 21st in most cases. Why? Because they knew that on that day the sun shines on us from exactly above of us, meaning the sun rays are the strongest and our mother planet is the healthiest. So the mother planet would produce the strongest energy fields. And they could be used for different purposes, including what I just mentioned, potential teleportation. The ancient megalithic sites are really sacred sites because once properly positioned, they become alive. Stonehenge, originally 30 upright stones and 30 horizontal, 60 stones, they were perfect circle. We have perfect circles, for example, in Israel, on occupied Golan Height, with the 5 circles, and that place is called the Rujum El Hiri. We have beautiful circles in Sweden. 2 most prominent are Alestenar in southern parts. It is like elongated oval circle, and the other one Anandshog in the northwestern part of the country. It's like number 8. Number 8, unlimited flow of the energy, no beginning, no end. Circle as such is the most powerful geometrical shape. In a cosmic terminology, circle really shows the whole universe and limitless of the universe. What do we have here? First of all, I would invite you today and any other time in your future life, when you're approaching such important sites, to show the respect. Today, before you came, of course, I've done all my measurements. First thing you do, you show the respect to the site and you communicate with the site. Those of you who visited Bosnian Pyramid tunnels might remember a little poster at the entrance. This is sacred site, show respect. Because once you do that, not only on a physical, conscious, but subconscious level, you start the communication. The world is much richer than what we think. Many entities, many spiritual beings. You show respect, you show good vibrations, then you are welcome. So what I suggest, why don't we use this corridor and enter the site properly? And before, let's see the orientation. Well, the compass is showing east, west, north and south. Just by looking at the sun, it's afternoon, sun is going from south to west, meaning this is east, but this corridor is not a perfect east. It is southeast. What does that mean? When the sun is getting up during the summer, it's not coming really from a perfect south, from a perfect east, but from southeast. So, summer solstice, sunrise, this, new life. Winter solstice, it's a little bit to the north. The same thing goes with the west. Summer solstice, sunset, southwest, not the perfect west. So it seems that this corridor is maybe the proper entrance. So I invite you that we all get inside and we try to explore this structure. So please come with me. And you show respect in any way you want, but you communicate with the structure. So we are entering the megalithic structure. It's called Megalithic Circle. However, when we look around us, we really don't see a perfect circle. Like when you are in Stonehenge, even though it's badly damaged, we can imagine that the circle was there. Many other megalithic circles, northern Bangladesh, the places where you would not expect it, Pakistan on 3 different places, Senegal, United States, Mexico, and many other countries. But as far as the megalithic structures, of course, the most of them are in Europe. The most famous, besides Stonehenge, Avebury Hill, extremely important. Over there we don't have just one circle, but 3. In Stonehenge, the biggest blocks reaching 75 tons. Avebury Hill, even though it's been badly damaged, we can see the magnificence of that site. But many other stone circles in Wales, in Scotland, in Ireland. In Western Europe, the first place, of course, Carnac, in Western France. We have 6,000 megaliths, some of them making the lines, some of them we have like menhirs, individual blocks, some of them making the combination of the vertical and horizontal blocks with the tabletops, which in archaeology is called dolmens. So people in the past were obviously playing with the big blocks, making certain geometrical figures. Now, what do we have here? We don't have one megalithic circle. Originally, this structure was much more complex. Now, what we see here, the lane behind them, actually we can follow one of the circles, you see? 1, 2, 3, 4, and you see behind Dirk, 1, 2, 3, 4. Behind is the second one, and Michael is standing on the outer circle. So actually we had 3, but not all the way. So please follow me now. Let's follow the circle. So the circle was going this way. You see this stone? It was not laying on the ground originally. It was right here where I'm standing right now. This one also, the longer part, right here. And this is the major section in Adam's calendar. 1, 2, 3. But 2 is very important. Those 2 were one next to each other. Why those pairs? This is probably very specific to this site. On other places, when people were playing with the astronomy, when they wanted to show the connection between our solar systems and some other stars, or between our planet and our sun and the moon, they were using just one megalith here, one in the center. Here is totally different scenario. Why? We have 2 major blocks in the center. That's one thing. It gives the authors, the original builders, more space to play with the movements and directions. And secondly, you see the pairs here? One pair here. Obviously, this direction should be important for some reason. You see it here, you see it here, you see there. It all had its importance. So, astronomer is extremely important person to figure out all this connection to different star systems. Why do I think that this is also placed with the astronomical features? Well, if you look at those 2 big blocks, the distance from here to there and from the center to the other side, they are not the same. What does it mean? It means that 2 major blocks are not centered. Does it affect astronomical investigation? No. In astronomy, when it comes to archeo-astronomy, the major thing is that you always use the same point for all your astronomical measurement. So if you are looking for the movement of the sun during the summer solstice, sunrise and sunset, you always use one point. You cannot use one point for summer solstice and that point for winter solstice and that one should play at this. Always you have to have one central place, which does not necessarily have to be in the middle of the circle. And this place, no doubt, that was the central place. And all the measurements, all the astronomical observations were done from that place. So imagine this guy standing right here, continuing the circle, that one also, and this one also. And now we are coming to a very important geological feature. disregard the surface when we are thinking about the type of the stones. So if we go back to geology, if we forget for the moment fossils, what we can see here, freshly broken piece, it looks like a black granite. And as a matter of fact, dolerite has one of the nicknames, black granite. Now the granite situation is very present in Egypt. Probably some of you went to Aswan, which is the biggest place where the granite blocks were moved from. So granite, dolerite and diorite, they all belong to the same family. They are very hard stones. They are stones that they can stay outside for the outer use for very long time. So they are ideal to make this megalithic structure here. Now, this block, when it comes to the porosity, it is about 2%. I was doing measurement, it was from 1.4 to 2.7. So it's about 2%, and this is what you would expect from this type of the material. But when it comes to hardness, if you take our concretes today, they are on the scale from 10 to 60 megapascals. 60 megapascals are excellent quality concretes that are made in Germany and United States, 10 to 60. But when we are nowadays building huge skyscrapers, we need to get something even better quality. When the biggest skyscraper in the world was built, and that would be Burj Khalifa in Dubai, they managed to get to 115 megapascal. So it was extremely hard and excellent quality concrete. When it comes to dolerite, the values are about 40. So our regular concretes 10 to 60, this is 40. The best quality concrete ever achieved on the planet is measured on the Bosnian Pyramid of the Sun, and it in Bosnia, of course, and it is reaching 155 megapascals. So this is science. This is, the values that we are getting comparing different sites. So let's move on. Let's get the full feeling for the circle. Come with me. And try to train your eye. When tomorrow go to another site which is also damaged, then you try to think how it was originally. Look, the stones are here. Look, and look how whenever is the longer side laying on the ground, it means at one point it was standing up. So let's just follow the circle. Follow the circle. This one, they moved, it was a smaller, they got it all down. We follow the circle. Follow the circle. Here. Oh, this is beautiful picture. So we are making a circle. That's good. That's a sign of respect for the site. This big guy here, obviously it was standing here. And we have alignment here. Okay. Southeast, northwest. So this is a summer solstice, sunset, sunrise. This line here. Very important. You see how the size was showing the importance also. So the major alignments, the huge megaliths.
Just stay there, Sam. Just
Yeah.
I want to take this picture. Just look here.
Yes.
Beautiful picture.
Yes.
Point at those rocks. Great. Thank you.
Dirk, are you with us?
Wait a moment.
Okay. You see the pile here? So this side here was very important, like the one over there. The one over there. So we have 4 major concentration, and they follow the cardinal points and the movement of the sun. Are you with us, Dirk? Now, why is the movement of the sun so important? Of course, for our planet, it's crucial. The sun gives us light. The sun gives us warmth. The sun gives us life. But also, the sun gives us knowledge. Now, this fourth element isn't mentioned today, but ancient traditions, especially Mayans, knew that. They were getting information from the sun. The sun was getting information from the center of the galaxy, Milky Way, and the center of our galaxy was getting the information from the center of the universe. It's not only about the warmth and the light, it is about the information. And then from our planet, it was going back. It was two-way information. So for the Mayans, the sun was the father because of the knowledge and because of the communication. And once on one megalithic site, you show how your father moves for the major 4 periods: summer solstice, fall equinox, winter solstice, and spring equinox. And especially if you show the location of the sun, both sunrise and sunset, you define your planet in the solar system. And when you add the lunar phases, the movement of our moon, now we have 2 major cosmic bodies that influence the life on our planet. So imagine you are coming from another solar system, coming to this one, coming to this megalithic site. So what you are seeing is the site that defines its own position in solar system in relation to the sun and the moon. So when you look from the above, you can get all this information just from the layout of the megaliths. Let's move on. As you're moving on, imagine 1, 2, 3 circles, a bigger concentration here. Why would I do something like this? Once you see the flat surface, obviously the foundation was here. It was, staying on this one here.
Mind this metal peg here, guys. That's John Heiner's measurements, yeah.
And then we have another structure here. But let's follow the outer structure. It's right over here. Outer structure. Follow me. This one was standing up. As you are moving, you'll come to one megalith which has been split in half. It's not a recent thing. When you come over here, you will see the aging inner parts. So this guy, those 2 pieces were standing here, making the pair like we have over there. Like we have over here. So we move on. This one was standing up also. We have this pair. We need to see which star system, or this is cardinal points actually. This is the equinox. Here another pair. Apologize. So I'm standing on another pair. When you want to disable the machine, what do? You move blocks from their original position. Instead of them standing up, meaning their energy flows is from below going up, now they are down. They don't do the function anymore. That's why they are laying in the grass today. And here we can see 2 circles. This one big standing up. And then we are back in the middle. Hello, guys. No, you're fine. This is the first time I'm coming to Adam's calendar with such a beautiful weather. Last 2 times, foggy, cold, rainy. So it has given me a good opportunity to do the series of measurements. And these are my results. As we learned yesterday, this machine measures the negative and positive ion concentration. Of course, if you have plenty of negative ions, it's beneficial. The values here are very low. Negative ions from 0 to 200, meaning we don't have negative electrical charge in the atmosphere here. Positive 150 to 300. Now, today I measured bad electromagnetic field and the values are at 0. So we don't have bad electromagnetism here. Also, I measured the thing that I did not mention yesterday, and this is radioactivity. This is the Geiger counter. Now, sometimes people talk that there was a nuclear war tens of thousands of years back in Mohenjo-Daro and some other places. You go ahead and you measure radioactivity. If you find some above normal values, so obviously something was going on in distant past. If you go with this machine to... Now, radioactivity here is at 22 ppm, which are very low values, and that's below the minimum. So there was no radioactive war here. This is a multi-gas detector, which was measuring the values for oxygen, 20.9, nice, it's a beautiful ratio, and no poisonous or bad gases here. The next one, okay, I was measuring magnetic field. Now, magnetic field, the values you would expect in any city, town, village, or nature. What I've experienced, and I've done hundreds of measurements, usually the values are from 30 to 32, from 40 to 45, 48, and the range is always just a few points, from 30 to 35, from 30 to 32. What I measured here really amazes me. The values, they go from 10 microtesla to 152. So we have this range. What does that mean? It means that we have a big magnetic anomaly here. So I've done measurement here in the center of the circle, meaning that those 2 blocks are still active, whatever they were doing in past. So maybe on the outer sections we don't have such values, but here it means that this is still magnetically very active and we have anomaly here. When it comes to the ultrasound, again like yesterday at the stone circle, I did measure occasional spikes which would go over 30 kilohertz, meaning that there is something that generates that spikes. Infrasound, over there values are what I would expect, from 19 to 27 hertz, so no anomaly over there. I did mention that using this digital moisture meter, I was measuring the porosity. It's between 1.4 to 2.7, meaning this is good quality rock. And this is what you would expect from dolerite. And the best for the end. This is experimental life energy meter. As explained earlier, we have the scale from 0 to 100. For example, the reference point, in this case, was my home. My home, it's about 20% on the scale from 0 to 100. Humans, as we measured several of you yesterday, they're anywhere from 65 to 80. Grass, it's about 35. The value for the atmosphere here inside this megalithic circle, read it.
38.
35.
35.
Yeah, it's about 35. Remember the stone circle yesterday? 25. Our hotel, 20. Here is 35, meaning this place is more alive. And let's see this block for itself. What do you see? It's touching
40.
It's between 40 and 45. Now these values, the highest values of dead object is measured in Bosnian pyramid tunnels, our ceramic block K2, 45. This guy is also reaching 40 to 45. Meaning that energetically speaking, this block is alive. We have some humans starting at 50 or 55. This is 45. This is almost alive like some human beings. What does that mean? It means that the choice of the material and especially the location where it was positioned was crucial. What do we have below? We need to figure out, but my experience, energy potent place. So we can have quartz crystal, we can have iron, we can have some other minerals, we can have some cavities. Cavities amplifies the energy. We can have some underground water flows or all of the above, and this makes a place special, energetically potent place. So what we have here is really amazing. And now a few words about the masses. Let's measure this block and let's see its size. Can you help me, Chad? Just keep it here. We have 225, and then here is about 160, so let's say 175 in average. The height 175. I know, 190 plus the broken piece 60, that's 250, about 30 centimeters at least in the ground.
A meter at least.
You mean meter? So it's about 3 meters. 3 meters by about 2, that's 6 square meters by 40 centimeters. 6 by 40, it's 2.4 cubic meters. Now density of this material is about 295 to 3. So 3 times 2.4, it's 7 tons.
What do you want to multiply?
So it is about 7 tons. 7 tons. 7 tons is this plate. For 7 tons you have to have technology to move it. Especially here on the top of this cliff. Now if this material does not belong to the area, and we heard things like that, that dolerite is not native to this area, that would mean that somebody has brought thousands of tons of material here. Last year, while I was here alone, I did my focus meditation, during which I had my questions: who, when, how, and why. And these are the answers that I received. This was huge megalithic complex, meaning it's not just this circle here. Huge megalithic complex. Secondly, it was built before the time. Number 3, people were present here. Number 4, when in function, it communicated with other energy machines on the planet, pyramids and megalithic sites. People first damaged the complex. In the later phase, they destroyed the complex. So the megalithic structure could not perform its original function, telecommunication and teleportation. Thank you very much.
Thank you, sir.